At midnight each night, in a cinder block building off the docks of New York's East Side, the presses roll. By 3 a.m., the Bulldog edition, the day's first paper, is on trucks and on its way to the outer boroughs. Distributing 1.5 million papers each day, the New York Post is the most widely read tabloid in America. The New York Post is a classic tabloid, brash, outspoken, controversial. This feisty survivor in New York's rough-and-tumble world of newspapering has made its share of headlines, thanks to owner Rupert Murdoch, the conservative media mogul who owns the Fox network and an array of entertainment, news, and publishing businesses.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
She says it's in recovery. That's why I'm calling you rather than fishing around on my own.
They're bringing me pictures of him standing outside the building. I'm looking for like a dashing, something out of Titanic with his shirt off or something.
What did the mayor say? Anything,
comma?
While everyone's seen the Post, few have seen what goes into making it.
I think this gets to be too much here when you get to these royals. Too many celebrity-oriented pictures.
The latest reading I'm getting is that we're gonna do it as a Sunday thing.
Get President, get Timmy Dad, get Pirelli, get all the anecdotes.
Frankie talked to the mayor briefly, but the whole continues on the way here now, so you'll need to get to the plaza early.
Say New York Post, and people think screaming headlines.
People are so crazy in this city. People are so nuts getting to work and hearing noises in the subway and the cars and honking, and everyone's attention span is like zip. So in order to get attention, you know, you really have to be able to be eye-catching, and that's what the Post does. The headline sort of takes you by the lapel and grabs you in and says, read me, read me, read me. And you do. If you look up there, we had the new improved makeover of Monica Lewinsky. When we found out Di's driver was boozing it up at some gin mill, that was a big story. We ran with that for a long time.
It's 10 a.m., and the editors gather to plan the day's coverage.
Another lawyer has attacked Woodward, Bob Woodward.
Oh, right, Oren is doing that. You know, I forgot that.
Okay. Are we going to say anything on that today?
Well,
Deputy editor Jana Antunes runs the meeting.
I want to know, can the Knicks do it again?
Of course.
Absolutely.
It's summer. The New York Knicks have a make-or-break game that could keep them in the playoffs. And First Lady Hillary Clinton is in town, gearing up to run for the Senate.
For Knicks, we're talking about for first edition, and then we're going to end up losing something, probably.
The Post loves the New York Knicks.
The game you don't see, the television side of it.
And we're on the way to the salon where the Knicks' girlfriends and wives have their hair done, hopefully not at the same time.
The Post loves to hate Hillary.
The Catholic League attacked Hillary because she apparently takes a fortune, as does her husband, from the Weinstein brothers.
Well, I think there's a story in this, isn't there?
Once a staunch liberal paper, the Post under Rupert Murdoch echoes his conservative politics.
Andy Gill is making a couple of phone calls.
He's doing calls up there, and you want me to make calls down there?
Yeah, see what you can find out. I think it's the house, but I don't know that for sure. Our tipster was not clear on that aspect of it, or was not saying.
You know, I actually have somebody I could call. Yeah, it's Deborah Warren at the New York Post. Is Howard in, or does he have a new number? Hello? Yeah, we just got a tip that Mrs. Clinton closed on a house yesterday, and it sounds like it could be the house that the house we wrote about the other day. We're a tabloid, and that means we cover news through people and personalities more than through abstract issues, and we try to focus on the kinds of things that people are talking about. Well, the tipster identified the location of where she'd closed on a house. It's a quirky mix. It's very sophisticated politics, very sophisticated business coverage, a fair amount of gossip, which, of course, everybody and his brother reads, even though they pretend they don't. Yeah, it's Deborah Warren at the New York Post, 212-930-8500, and no, I'm still not going through anybody's garbage, but we think of ourselves as writing very specifically for New Yorkers about issues that matter to New Yorkers.
It's 11 a.m., and the President and First Lady's motorcade is holding up traffic in Midtown Manhattan. And on the street, a Post reporter gets opinions on the Clintons.
What kind of question? We're asking people, what do you think of Bill and Hillary running for Senate in different states?
Oh, Hillary, she gonna do all right. She gonna.
Think so?
I have faith in her. You know why? Because she a lady, and I'm down with lady power. You know, girl power.
That's true. I think they're both crooks, and I didn't vote for them either time.
What do you think of Bill and Hillary both running for Senate from different states? Because Bill's gonna run in Arkansas, maybe, and Hillary's gonna run in New York, maybe. So
I think that's a great idea. I'm for Hillary.
Well, if they want to run, they should run elsewhere. I really...
Not New York, you mean?
Not New York.
But hardball isn't limited to politics. The gossip column, page 6, has a ferocious team of writers who fill it with a shocking amount of bite.
Isn't it great?
That's great.
And she's vowed to see them in court.
I take better care of my animals than you do of your children. Yeah, I think that makes a good lead.
Okay, that's it.
Richard Johnson lords over page 6. He knows that a good fight sells papers, and he never loses.
We did a story about Alec Baldwin's mother, as a photographer named James Edstrom, claims that he was promised a photograph of all 4 Baldwin brothers. The headline was perhaps harsh. Alec Baldwin went on Rosie O'Donnell and attacked the Post as the worst newspaper in the history of journalism.
You could probably find more legitimate news in a bazooka comic than you can in the New York Post.
He's declared war now, and we publish 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and we intend to have many follow-up stories on just how badly his career is going, how fat he has become, and we're going to call him, as we did the other day, the former movie star. The hairy-chested husband of Kim Basinger might be cranky because he can't fit into his swim trunks. Maybe he's depressed with his career's southbound trajectory.
In addition to page 6, the Post has 3 columnists who work full-time on the gossip beat. Among the best known, Cindy Adams.
When you get up in the morning and your husband has some dried egg on his shirt from the night before, and he wasn't particularly a great lover, or he's not interesting, you want to hope that Kevin Costner's wife is not happy with him either, because it makes your life seem better. Yes. Where have you been?
From her home office penthouse on Park Avenue, Adams works the phones, shifts for nuggets, and writes her daily column.
The only way you can really write a column is if you have access. That's the name of the game. Look, over there, you know, it's a picture of Hillary and me, and over there are pictures of me with the Clintons and with the Reagans and with the Bushes. What you do is 70-30. 70 you're nice to them, 30 you beat them up. So that's the way you can skitter through life.
The gossip game is competitive and personal. Even among Post writers, a scoop is still a scoop. Back at page 6, Richard Johnson thinks he has one.
Patrick Ewing has impregnated that Nick City dancer. We broke the story last year that he was having an affair with one of the Nick City dancers. Now we hear that the Nick City dancer is pregnant. I don't know whether it's true. This is, I guess, one shot he did miss. Rumors that can't be substantiated we can deal with. Locate the woman and determine whether she is with child.
So sports is doing the ref thing.
And at the other end of the newsroom, the afternoon story planning meeting takes place.
Thinking of the morning meeting, I mean, absent any real news, we need a Nick's Wood for tomorrow's paper.
The wood is what the staff calls the front page headline. At the Post, it's what sells papers.
Possible outrage over the ref's call.
What's Sockwell doing on the wives thing?
We were hoping to get some of them at the beauty parlor today. There's a story in City Sun. Willie got a couple of the wives yesterday. He tried to reach more of them today.
Last night, around 12 o'clock midnight our time, Mick Jagger and Jerry Hall apparently had a full open-mouthed kiss in front of the cameras. And so it's leading all sort of speculation. Is this the kiss that, Jagger's going to try to get his $20 million back with or something like that in a press association?
Well, that's
and
real
there is a photo. It was done publicly, so we do have there are photos supposedly available. So.
Oh, great.
So I'll tell photos and we'll get on that.
Maybe it wouldn't make the New York Times, but longtime Post loyalists defend the paper and its take on the world.
The tabloid revolution that the Post invented back in the 70s, personalized stories. And we've gone beyond that. We personalized the business section. We personalized the sports section. That gives something that people can relate to. We like to act as a gadfly and attack people who need attacking. I think that in the best tradition of American newspapers, that's what we do.
Jeannie, you get a chance, will you call Celeb and get whoever the hell Alanis Morissette's contract?
It's Jeannie at page 6. Can I get a flag for Alanis Morissette, please? Eternally angry Alanis Morissette.
I once called the staff here the crash test dummies of American journalism, because we We take the risks. We take the chances. We have the passion. We go into the dangerous areas.
This is a great story. Did you see this? James Kirkpatrick left her dog in her car and rolled up the windows and went shopping. It didn't die.
Oh, that's
but
so great.
Look it was right next to a sign for pets die in hot cars. And
she's
so
such a bitch. It's
a
outrageous.
pickup. She's a how stupid. But her press person
Doesn't she write for us?
No.
Oh.
No.
She used to.
She used to, but she doesn't anymore. And that's what happens when you leave the fold. You're no longer protected.
It's just past 5. Deadline is 5:30 for the cover. Managing Editor Stu Marks oversees the daily meeting that chooses the wood for the front page, that makes the paper famous, and 1.5 million New Yorkers will wake up to.
You're not going to try and squeeze the Knicks again, are you? It's a lost cause.
No, you're wrong. Look at that. I'm telling you, and tomorrow night at 7:30 tomorrow night, you send 5,000 papers in and give them away to people. 9 o'clock tomorrow night, 9:15, the garden will be rocking.
No, it works well.
It's like the perfect photo.
And this is the day to do this front page as well.
Charlie Ward seeks divine guidance or divine intervention.
What does it say?
Divine intervention?
Make that flush right.
It's past midnight when the paper is put to bed. A presidential motorcade, a priest arrested for smuggling, a homeless man shot by a cop, and a high-rise fire. But when the sun comes up, New Yorkers will be greeted with 72-point type that is pure New York Post as the city prays for a Knicks victory.